Hey everyone, it's Wood Prepper here. So I was on my walk earlier today, and I got to thinking. Most of this community, most of the prepping circle, we like to talk about the food we have, the guns we have, the defenses, how much ammo we have, and all that stuff. But do we really know how to use it? And what would it look like if we had to use it against a force that was more than human? I know that's gonna sound crazy, but those are real questions. What do we have against the great scheme of things? What if China did invade, and we had to protect our own? What if the government decided to purge the world of the insignificant, you and me? How would we hold up against something like that? Let's just say the chips fell, and a few months down the road, your camp gets invaded. How would you fare? I watched a video earlier today. I found it pretty interesting. I'll play it here for you guys so you can watch it. Makes you think, huh? Makes you stop and consider for a moment, huh? Makes you say, wait a second. Because you watch what they're saying in the subtitles. Watch what they're really saying. What they're really telling you is, yeah, these things exist. They exist for military purposes. So they exist for military purposes. What does that mean? Well, it means that there are already hundreds of them out there. Probably thousands, could be even millions, but let's just put it in an average and say there's hundreds of them. So they've got hundreds of those already. China, they're manufactured in China. Wait a second. Isn't China who we're talking about right now with this whole Nancy Pelosi thing? Isn't China the ones that we are saying we might have to go to war with soon? Huh. So China has those things for the military purposes. Not only China, but Russia as well. Those are the two people that we have been hearing the most about in the news. China and Russia. Very interesting. So let's just say you're in your location, your bug out location, your bug in location. I call mine the fortress. Let's say you're at your fortress and you're, let's just say, a year into the chips falling. And you get invaded by 2 or 3 of those. And the purpose is to annihilate you. How are your defenses going to hold What do you have that could potentially stop one of those Terminators? Do you have anything that could protect your family against that? Do you have anything that could potentially stop that, or even just keep it from coming in? Keep it off the perimeter? Do you have anything that could combat that at all? Is there anything in your inventory that you feel safe enough to go up against it with? These are questions that you should be asking yourself. These are questions that I ask myself. We need to think in the terms of the long run. So, in other words, it's not just going to be thieves that we're up against. It's not just going to be werewolf preppers that we're up against. We're not just going to be up against another man or another rogue cop or something. No. When things go down, as I think they will, in the not too far off future, we're going to be up against all sorts of things. Robots, demons, demon-possessed animals, demon-possessed humans. Did I say robots? Well, I'll say it again. Robots, bombings, snipers, satellite snipers. We'll be up against them sending drones around, poisoning your gardens, trying to stop you from growing any food. You'll likely have to keep all your gardens inside because they'll be dropping chemicals from the sky that will stop your food from growing. All that stuff. That's who and what we'll be up against. Yeah. When you think about it, it's kind of scary, right? So what do you have against that? What do you have to hold your own? Can you hold your own? So, one more thing I wanted to talk about. I've already sort of touched on it, but just your armory. What is in your armory? What is there that you can say, yeah, I trust this? Because I'm just gonna say, too many preppers, well, not even preppers, just too many people in general put too much safety in their guns. Your guns are only going to do so much. You need more than a gun. I hear people talk about, yeah, I've got ammo to last me through my lifetime and beyond. First of all, no you don't. Second of all, you just might. But you'll need a lot more than a gun. You'll need a lot more than guns. You'll need to know how to use more weaponry than just a gun. Here's a good example. Not the greatest weapon, but the greatest weapon in my opinion. Learn how to use that. Learn how to use a bow, staff, spear, gun, knife, throwing knives, traps, all that good stuff. That's where it's going to be important. That's where you're going to realize, yeah, I'm glad I did this. Because people are going to go into this thing, they're going to go into the aftermath of the chips falling. They're going to go into that thinking that they have ammo, so they're good. Thinking that they have ammo and food preps, so they're good. I don't want you to realize too late that that's far from enough. If you're ace aim with a gun, you think you're clear because you have food. It's far from enough. You need to be physically fit. You need to know how to use more than just a gun. That's very important. Have you ever watched these videos of the Chinese army? They are far more versed than the U.S. Army, and that's kind of scary. China's army is much more adept. They train in much more arts their soldiers are much more toned than ours are. Our soldiers against a Chinese soldier really wouldn't last that long. Put two of them together in a field, put an army of American soldiers, just take away all the tech, take away all that, leave them in the old school days, so they had a gun and a helmet and a nice army suit. Put 10 Chinese soldiers in the ring with 10 American soldiers, the Chinese soldiers are going to win every time. Every time. There's no chance, there's no contest. Perhaps go back 20 years, 10 years even, we might have a chance, but 10 American soldiers against 10 Chinese soldiers, the game's over, they've won. So think about that. What do you have? Could you hold your own against even one of those dogs? Those Terminator dogs? Could you hold your own against one? Could you do that? I'd like to think I could. But that's gonna have to be seen. I'm gonna have to wait and see. Because a sword's not gonna do much to it. My spear is not gonna do much to it if I can get close enough. A gun is not gonna do much to it. What you're going to need to take out one of those things is you're gonna need to be physically fit. You're gonna need to be able to wrestle and not just give in. You're gonna need to be able to use your muscles for an extended amount of time. Because I'll be real with you and I'll be honest with you. Most preppers, we call ourselves preppers, but we can't do 20 push-ups. Personally, I can do 20 push-ups. I can do more than 20, but your average prepper can't. I'm not trying to hire myself up. I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone else. This goes for me as well. Stay fit. Keep training. Make sure you can hold your own. 20 push-ups is mandatory, I think. You should, after this video ends, you should get on the ground and see if you can do 20 push-ups. If you can't do 20 push-ups, work on that. I know there's a lot of elder people that won't be able to, and I'm not directing that. I'm saying that all you younger folks, 50, 60, and downwards, 20 push-ups is mandatory. I believe you should be able to do that. Because if you can't do 20 push-ups, you won't be able to wrestle for any extended amount of time. So, alright, that's it. Warriors, stay prepping, stay out of the heat. And I see you on the field of battle.